Woo pig suey. They all scream it. No, they holler it. Students and alums, farmers and lawyers, side by side, 70,000 strong. They call on that mean red Razorback to root out another win. All together now. Woo pig suey.
I'm sure you've guessed it, we're turning our attention back to college football and the SEC. With shutouts against LSU and Ole Miss last season, Arkansas became the first team in AP poll history to post consecutive shutouts against ranked teams while being unranked itself. No team had done it twice at any point in a single season since 1943. The Razorbacks allowing only 10.3 points per game over their final 6 games last season. Nicole? So, as you might expect, we're putting Arkansas's Brett Bielema on the hot seat here on SportsCenter. Welcome.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Excellent. So this is your 3rd full season at the school.
Yep.
How do expectations change as time goes on?
Well, my first year going in, finished 3-9. Obviously not a great year, but to come back last year 7-6, because we won 3 of our last 4, because we played a little bit better down the stretch, I think expectations have grown, and you know, to be quite honest, that's a good thing.
So last season, no one really wanted to face you late in the year. You won 3 of 4, including that 31-7 win over Texas, a game that you described, and I'm sure you've heard it by now, and I quote, erotic. Care to explain that one, sir?
I said borderline erotic.
Okay, fine, borderline erotic. Care to explain anyway?
Well, in the professional world I was referring to, not necessarily the personal world. For the type of style that we play, to beat Texas, a team, you know, through my entire life, you know, has been on a pedestal. I played them twice when I was at Kansas State and was unable to beat them, and to beat them the way we did and to play at the end of the game, and in reference to the erotic statement, to kneel at the 2-yard line and not put it in the end zone was a symbolic point of where our program is and where I think it could go. So
how do you continue to build on that success from late in the season, but also manage the expectations from within the program?
Well, I think it gets down to we won that game, but overall we were 7-6. To get to Atlanta, to win the SEC West, that's our ultimate goal. And then the byproduct would be, you know, you have a very good season and you get a chance to talk about the playoffs. But to get our kids to understand that they've put in a lot of really good work, they've arrived. You know, I'm a head coach that really believes in hard work pays off in the end. And we're actually going to a season where we're not going to have 2-a-days. You know, our kids don't even know that yet, but
they do now.
Put ourselves in a position that physically we're ready. We need to be ready when the games are there, and we play against each other every day in practice. Hopefully we're competing against one of the best offensive and defenses every day, and we want that season to be special. We got to make sure we're fresh when we get there.
The schedule is not exactly your friend this year. Arkansas is the only SEC program to play back-to-back conference road games. Not once, but twice. You'll go to Tennessee and then Alabama, then Ole Miss and LSU. It's extra significant because the road has been a struggle for this program. 0-9 in the last 9 conference road games. 0-7 with you as the head coach. So baby step this with me. How do you just get to 1 road win?
Well, we're going to take it with a one-day approach. But last year we learned how to win at home. We beat those 2 games, Ole Miss and LSU. We also won a road game against Texas Tech, and we were knocking on the door against Mississippi State. They're ranked #1 in the country. Let one get away late against Mizzou. So we had to go through some things, some fires that we had to put out. And unfortunately, we didn't win all of them, but I think we learned a lot about ourselves. And we've made a point to our kids, you know, we have an opportunity to go on the road. And the last 5 SEC West champions have been 18-2 on the road. And I think our guys, now they get that. They understand it. And hopefully when we go in that first opportunity, we'll take advantage of it.
So you had a number of gems from SEC Media Day. The list is rather long, but we did catch you on this. Listen to this one.
I am very excited about our defense. I think they could be a very special group. I've kind of been giving them the tagline, the Bad News Bears. For those that have that vintage that remember that movie, they're a bunch of guys that nobody really had a strong game, but played well together, and I think that's what our defense is. We got a bunch of no-name guys that I think could be very successful together, and excited to see them work.
My dad coached my softball team when I was little, and we had a team that he referred to as the Bad News Bears. They spent time out in the outfield picking flowers during games. It's not exactly the connotation that goes with a good defensive unit. So what do you get out of calling your team that?
You know, last year we had a linebacker named Martrell Spate, who before the year started, no one knew who he was. At the end of the year, he led the SEC in tackles. He's one of the best performing linebackers in all of college football because he bought into what we're doing and how we play the game. And my reference there was being kind of like the Bad News Bears movie. There weren't a lot of all-stars on there. Right. There were a lot of guys that played well together, had a lot of fun doing it. I'm not going to say we're going to copy the movie every doubt of the way, but I do think our guys take a lot of pride in how they play together and that no one really cares about the recognition that they get.
Coach Bielema, thanks so much. He didn't bring the bling with his shoes.
No.
He brought the bling with the ring this time. By the way, Arkansas opens up September 5th against Utah. Thank you.